Nursing school is cutthroat. There's people that are very competitive and people will throw you under the bus. Ooh, I am so wetty. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and meet my second baby, Chance. You want to say hello to everybody? Yes, I got a second puppy or second dog. Chance is a golden doodle as well, but he is more of a poodle because mom is, I think, a full standard poodle and dad is a golden doodle. So half poodle, half golden retriever. And Louie is mom is a full standard poodle and dad is a full golden retriever. Right? Right, Louie? So if you see me kind of shuffling around, it's because I'm trying to keep him away from all my stuff. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't posted because 2 weeks ago I went to San Francisco and then I got back and then like my whole schedule has been weird because remember I told you guys that I am now a case manager / admissions nurse. So they ended up hiring another case manager because another nurse is leaving. So now I'm kind of able to get an actual schedule. So right now I am assigned 6 patients and so I have a lot of flexibility in my schedule, and so just in case I have admissions or if there's something I can do, that is what I'm gonna be doing. And so I'm going to be working closely with the other nurse who's going to be in the same area as me. And so it's going to be more of a team dynamic, which is what we didn't have before because last time it was just like one nurse handled their own and another nurse handled their own. And then if they needed help, they would have like an LVN come out. So right now that is the plan. I've been like trying to record videos of going out on my own, but it's so hard because it's like, how am I supposed to show you guys what I do without violating HIPAA? So I'm still like thinking of like different ways to be creative when it comes to like showing you guys my day-to-day lives. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. That was just a little quick update, but today's video is about nursing school culture. I had someone comment on my YouTube. I'll post it and put it right here, wanting to talk about like nursing school culture and to see how it really is and what it is all about. A lot of people may think that nursing school is cutthroat. There's people that are very competitive and people will throw you under the bus. And it's not like that. At least for me, it wasn't. I don't know how it was for other schools, but I have had some instances where I had to deal with a couple of issues with other students, but nothing that was like, oh my God, like there's so much drama in nursing school. But nope, that is not how it is. So it's just gonna be like a story time podcast just to talk about how it was going to West Coast University, my school, and talking about students and how they felt about the administration and all this stuff, and just giving a little background of it. So the first thing is, this happened at my very first nursing core class. Like this was for my fundamentals class, and my professor in that class liked to put us in groups, and so we would work in groups, and we like had an assigned table, like this is a group that you're going to be sitting with once we start doing group work. And I think we had to do a presentation one time, and so everyone kind of like was texting each other and saying, hey, let's be a group and let's be together to do our presentation. And there was this one person that posted in like our group chat saying, hey, are you guys, let's be whatever. What was it? Okay, there was this one instance with this person was like posted in a group chat, what should we do, or how should we split up the groups? And this was during the weekend and no one wants to think about school. I had a camera issue because my camera died, so now I'm recording with my other camera, so sorry if the quality changed a little bit. But anyways, okay, so what had happened was this person put in a group chat like, hey, how are we splitting the groups or whatever? And everyone, it was like during the weekend, and so people were like, looked at it, like I was at Disneyland, looked at it and was like, I don't want to think about school right now, I don't want to think about this project at this moment. And so no one responded. And then when we come back to school the next time we had class, basically what happened was this person ended up sitting at a different group. And so we kind of were like, what the heck? What happened? And we found out that this person was like upset that we didn't text them back. And then they wanted to be in a different group. And then we were all just kind of like, I guess this person just took it personally. And it was just kind of those things I was just like, oh, well, whatever, you know? And it's just like your first nursing core class, and then stuff like this happens. And it's not high school, you know? It's not... There is a lot of people in your classes that are older, like me. I was 24. There's people in there that like go in and have kids. This is some people's first time. This is some people's second degree. And then here you have like other students who may be their first time actually being in college. I've had classmates who were literally 18, like literally went to high school, just graduated that same year and started West Coast. So there's still people there that are still growing, developing, kind of getting used to this type of environment. And you just gotta be open to all these types of different people. But honestly, that wasn't even a big deal. The biggest issue I had with like nursing school culture or whatever is that there are going to be people who think that they know everything. So let me tell you. So we have a quiz every single week. And then after you take your quiz, you could basically leave and go outside. Or actually, no. We wait till everyone is done. And then once it's done, people can wait. Wait, how was it before? Because this was like before COVID. And before they made some restrictions. No. Okay, so we take our quiz, and then once we were done, we could turn it in and wait outside. And so, you know, people would start getting up and walking outside, and then you'd see people outside. And then that's the moment where everyone starts going like, hey, what did you get for this question? What answer did you get? Like kind of like talking to see what other people put to see what the right answers were. And this is also, again, in my very first nursing core class. Took a quiz, went outside, everyone's chit-chatting, talking about what answers we got, comparing our answers to see, you know, what we thought the right answer was. And then this person is like, no, this is the answer I got because blah, 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 blah. No, it's this answer, blah, 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 blah. Like, this person could not even try to have a conversation as to figuring out why there's a reason why B should be the answer and why there's a reason A could be an answer. And this person was like, no, I'm right and you're wrong. And so then after we would have our quizzes, I would avoid that person because I'm like, I'm not trying to fight with people. I'm trying to talk about why this answer was this answer and kind of get people's input to see different people's thinking processes. And so you're going to get, you know, you're going to see people that are like that, like thinking very strongly that they're right and that there's no right answer and just don't even want to talk to you about your answer. Because, you know, a lot of people are like, no, I can't get that question wrong because like it's nursing school, you know, like it's so stressful. And it's like just taking a quiz and then going out and then just not knowing is so stressful because every time I'd walk, I'd be like, I need to know what I got wrong. I need to know how I did, because it was just me like, oh, like they would end up posting the, you know, results a week later because they have to wait for other students to take the quiz as well. And then because once you kind of figure out what your score is and see how you did, then you could figure out maybe what you got wrong and then give people answers. And that was just kind of this whole thing. Another thing I wanted to talk about is cheating in nursing school. So how is cheating in nursing school? You can't cheat. I'm just gonna say that right now. I've never had anyone been caught for cheating, like on taking an exam. And because one, at West Coast University, you know, if you're caught cheating, you could basically be kicked out. And that is something that you do not want to happen. Okay? Like for something so dumb, like you might as well, you should just rather fail that quiz than cheat. Because if you didn't study, that's your fault. And if you're going to try to cheat, like why are you even trying to do that? But, you know, there's always that thing where people have friends in other classes, and then they'd get answers from other people and kind of ask you like, how was the quiz? Different students like professors usually have multiple classes, like 2-3 classes a week, and so some people would try to get that like second class so that they can talk to their friend who had that quiz already and ask them. But sometimes even the professors would even change the questions for the quizzes, depending on how it is. And so there's that. The last bad thing, like this is like basically the cons. The other thing that, so my West Coast campus had a Facebook page where everyone would ask questions about professors, basically vent about their frustrations with the school. And I'm just gonna say, like, a lot of people get all these negative connotations of West Coast, saying if it, people are feeling, and like people end up paying their whole tuition, and there's just a lot of misconceptions that aren't true that people would DM me about on my Instagram. And then I'd be like, no, like I've never had a horrible experience. Okay, let me tell you, the only time I ever had a horrible experience was, so I took a term off for West Coast because I had an opportunity to work with Gymshark, which is like a big Instagram athletic company, and I was like, I need to take this opportunity, and then I took a term off just for that. Okay, whatever, call me what you will, like why would anyone do that? Chance is like crying. Why would anyone take a term off for nursing school because to work with a brand? Well, anyways, I ended up being in a very big campaign. It was like if you guys don't know Gymshark, they're just like a very big athletic company, workout clothing company, and one of their biggest influencers, Whitney Simmons, I was able to work with her. But anyways, that's like a whole nother thing. But so I took that term off, and then they were like, okay, so I ended up taking only online classes. So I was still in school, but I wasn't taking any nursing core classes. I wasn't taking any clinical classes. So I was just doing nutrition online and one other class online. And so my advisor was like, okay, so once you get into peds, let them know that you want to add this class once I get back into OB, tell them that you want to, because OB, I think we had 3 classes, and they were like, or 2 classes, I forgot, but they were like, add that class onto your peds term. And I was like, okay, I'll do that like when I get back and figure everything out. And then I go into like the advising first week at school, like trying to update my schedule, and then the person that I saw was like, we have to get an approval from the dean before we can make any changes. And I was like, okay, sure, like this is what they told me, and that's what I'm gonna do. And then they got back to me, and then they're like, sorry, the dean said that, since everyone is taking this class, like you're supposed to do the same, like you can't make your term easier, blah blah blah. And in my head I was like, yeah, that's definitely true, but at the same time I was like, but they told me that I could do this. So internally I was upset, and I was like, why would they tell me that? And then they tell me this, and then like you go into somewhere thinking that you're gonna walk out getting exactly what you intended to come in for, but I walked out more stressed because I'm like, okay, I thought I was gonna take this term with only just my core class and clinical, but I ended up just like feeling more stressed, like, I have to take these 2 classes. Like inside I was hurting, inside I was like upset, because I was like, whatever. So it was just something I had to deal with. A lot of the times in nursing school, there's just things that come up, and you just have to like be like, okay, whatever, like all I want to do is graduate and finish school and leave. Like that's it. That's what a lot of people do. But the school is very supportive in certain things, like a good thing about West Coast is that I've had classmates, we've had nursing students pregnant, and they did not make them drop out. Some of these students and the professors, one of them ended up giving birth during term, and the professor, like, I think they missed 1 day of clinical because you're allowed to miss 20% of your attendance, and they gave birth and came back in like a week or something to like go and take their quizzes and everything. And so they're very supportive. You just have to kind of work with them But don't expect them to be like, sorry, you're pregnant, like you can't come back, or sorry, you're pregnant, like you have to take a term off, like that kind of stuff. I guess administration, there's always going to be issues when it comes to administration, just like with every single school. But there was never a point where I was like, oh my God, like, why are they doing this? It was never like such a big thing. Like, I kept my head, I just like stayed out of all those negative stuff and just focused on school, what I needed to do, and, you know, getting good grades and just doing what I needed to do and not complaining about stuff, because that's just how it is. And you can't go into the nursing world expecting like to complain about a lot of things. There's just some stuff, certain things that you just kind of have to be like, okay, well, that's how it is, and that's just how it's gonna work. But I've been talking about the bad stuff. Let's talk about all the good stuff in nursing school. So, again, a lot of people think nursing school is cutthroat. A lot of people think that people will throw you under the bus and, like, negative and, like, all this bad stuff. But I'm just going to say that nursing school is a very supportive environment, at least for my classmates that I was with. The good thing about the biggest thing with what I learned with nursing school is that in general, as a nurse, you should be a compassionate person, someone who is very diverse and open to a lot of different cultures and backgrounds and those kinds of things. Oh my gosh, let me tend to my child. But let me give you some good stories, okay? So, clinicals. You don't want to miss a day in clinical, unexcused clinical, because that's just not good. It doesn't look good on you. But I've had a classmate who everyone like got to the hospital, and we were in the cafeteria, and it was like 6:45, and then we had one missing classmate. And so when we noticed our classmate wasn't there, a lot of things that we like to do in clinicals is we like to get each other's phone numbers and make a group chat with each other just in case we have questions about stuff. And we would text her personally and be like, hey, where are you? Like, you know, like, you're not here yet. Are you okay? Like, making sure this person didn't get in a car accident, or maybe they fell asleep and we're trying to wake them up and make sure that they go to class and everything still. And so that is something that we like to do with, at least with the people that I was with, and we text each other for stuff that we needed help with, like, or some people in our group chats would be like, hey guys, don't forget to do this assignment, don't forget to turn this in, make sure you print this out at, you know, for the clinicals and all this stuff. And it was very helpful and supportive. It wasn't like someone always trying to make things harder for you. Everyone that I've encountered with was very helpful, like especially in clinicals, like helping each other out and all that stuff. And so it was never an environment that I hated. It was never like toxic or anything, because everyone there is there to graduate and finish nursing school and just be a nurse. And a lot of people, as a nurse, you have to be a helpful person. You want to help other people. So if you're not wanting to help your other classmates, then that's up to you. And that's just some people. Some people are just like, well, that's not my responsibility or whatever. But, you know, it kind of, people who are like that and take initiative have that leadership role with them. And that's something that you do need as a nurse, you know, to be a leader, not just for yourself, but for everyone else around you. The other thing is that my school and my campus, we have a West Coast University Facebook page, which some people would DM me and I'd add them into it. So let me know, DM me if you're interested in getting in a Facebook page. But basically, we have this Facebook community page where everyone can vent about stuff and complain about stuff. But at the same time, it's mostly used for asking for help. And it basically, people would post questions like, hey, has anyone had this professor before? What can I expect? How should I study for this class? How should I study for their midterms, for their finals, for the quizzes? A lot of very supportive help in this Facebook community. Like, I'd search up my professors, even clinical professors, and people would say helpful tips and stuff and saying, this is how I studied for the class, or they'll say, this professor is very helpful. Like, make sure you go to office hours. And it helps us kind of expect on what to expect from our professors. A lot of students would also post things like, oh, I'm having a very hard time like studying for my OB class, like I'm not doing well, I'm doing this and this, like what else can I do, like, and a lot of people and other students who have taken these professors would say, hey, like, it's okay, like I'll do this and I'll do that. People provide help, tutoring. People have tutoring for that. Personal tutoring. Some people would ask for personal tutorings for that. And then you also have people posting things for advice. Like, one time I posted a question like, oh, so I ended up okay, Coachella 2019. So I had a med math exam that was scheduled for like Friday, and I was like, oh, my child is crying, and I was like, I can't go to my first med math exam. So I posted in the Facebook page, like, what happens if you miss your med math exam? And then people were like, oh, it's fine, like, you can just take it again, take the second time or whatever. Like, people were posting stuff like that. That was like my very first post in the group chat, because I was going to Coachella and I was like, I have 3 chances to do it. So I did that. I'm not going to tell you guys like that's something you should do, but if like you really have to go miss something, you could DM me and just ask me if you guys like want some type of assurance or something. But you can hear, sorry if you guys hear Chancey's like crying in the background, because I think my fiance's back home and he took Louis out. But the environment itself, it's not cutthroat. It'll only be cutthroat if you make it cutthroat. Don't be that person in nursing school that just thinks that you're always right and who thinks that you're better than everybody else, because you're not. You're all in the same boat. You guys are all just trying to graduate and be nurses and live your life, and that's just how it's been for me. And so that is how I approached nursing school. I never wanted to get into any drama. I just made sure that I went to clinicals on time. I got to class on time. I made sure I did all my assignments, and I made sure that I was doing everything as best that I could do, because that was a way for me to develop the habits that I have now. And it has definitely helped a lot, of how you are as a nursing student will show how you will be as a nurse on the floor. And that's just how it's going to be. If you weren't someone who was supportive during nursing school to your classmates, how are you going to be that supportive and take on that leadership role when it comes to working with other peers, working with your other nurses, working with your charge nurses? And so that is just how I approached nursing school, and just, how the culture is. So make it the culture that you want to be a part of. Don't put into negative feedback into it. We're all here to help other people and just give our advice for everything. So thank you guys for watching. I know this was like a little short, quick video, but that was just something that I wanted to talk about. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.